stuff going on. Stuff going on. Well, thing one, if you've noticed, since last night, I set up a live stream for this Wednesday. I will have Robert Phoenix and Slick Dissident on, so check that out, 7 p.m. Wednesday night. So, that show is reincarnation theater, right? This topic is based on conversations that I've had with Slick. That Slick wanted to work with Robert Phoenix, looking into the astrology of, if not reincarnation, at the very least, almost a re-characterization. Like, what is it about these people that end up in roles that are part of the echoes of history and astrological trends? So I'm very excited to participate in that. It was an awesome suggestion from Gabe. I'm working on so many personal things right now between reading Nine Doors of Midgard in the time that I have, and tonight's now a work night because I picked up some overtime that I really wanted and needed. And as I get into the rhythm of this job, I'll get some more personal time back on work nights and be able to squeeze something in. Because sometimes it's like, what feels right? Does it feel right to fucking set up my goddamn live stream, or does it feel right to pick up my guitar and fucking practice for 15 minutes to half an hour or some shit, right? Because I'm trying to get better and better because I want to be able to feed the Zeralath Shreds channel. If I'm going to feel like music is still a part of my life, I have to fucking at least be doing something, even though it is not quite my fucking ability to fucking just roll fucking solo, right? You know, it's so much fucking bullshit for someone who just thought I was always going to be collaborating with a band, right? I looked at the world, and it's the nonsense of, like, I looked at the world of music before the internet, right? And I loved the whole, just get out there, go fucking hang out with musicians like yourself, fucking figure out who likes your sound and whose sound you like, and fucking, work up to it, and, my personal disposition may have been to stay in my lane as just a fucking guitarist, and and develop from there. And I ended up having a hard time. I sometimes I wish people would tell me that you got to practice more. I'm sorry, man. It's like you're pretty good, but you seem to not. I wish people would have just said, like, broski, you might be not as good as you think you are, right? Or if they want to be just fucking blunt about it, be like, bro, I like you, but you're not good enough for this band, or something like that, right? At the very least, because I'm the kind of guy that can take it. It can hurt. I might feel a little embarrassed or whatever, but I'm sitting there, I don't want to fucking embarrass people that I'm fucking jamming with, and I'm so fucking self-conscious that, I won't feel good about it either, right? I know when that's agreeable, right? And I think a lot of times other guys will know when I know, right? And that's hard enough to fucking do when you need to be the other way. Because believe me, I'm not like the arrogant guy who learned to be humble. I was the fucking guy lowlying himself, not giving himself permission to feel great. Right? And this is why I could never get with these get rid of the ego people. right? And you'll notice that, that's only getting rid of the ego is just a popular emotional sentiment with women. That's why, like, when you see these guys in the New Age movement, which is why there's less and less and less of them, it's not natural for a guy to have a mindset attitude of, oh, get rid of the ego, right? I think women don't realize that that's really only maybe for fucking them, and not really anyway. Right? I mean, it's certainly, I don't know. I don't think it works on any level, really. It just the no ego sentiment just seems to really breed narcissism, and that's fucking all there is to it. But yeah, so I got this thing with Robert Phoenix in March. I think it was March 23rd. I gotta double check my agreement, but in March, when Mario Garza's schedule has panned out a pinch, I'm gonna have him on. He's gonna talk to me about his solar stuff, and then I'm gonna throw what I've learned from the Box Saga, and the other northern stories that I know thus far, mythos, lore, facts, etc., that corroborate many of the things that he says, and show him how it does so in the language, which is going to introduce him to root language stuff, and that's going to be it's pretty cool. I thought Mario knew a little bit more about the Box Saga. Because I was pretty sure half of his friends knew about it. I thought they did, at least. Excuse me. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I want to have a talk about down the line again, have James True back. I'm interested in he made some interesting comments about on one of his podcasts about Mark Passio and kind of like the state of his movement, right? Making his personal observation from his outside vantage point. And I thought that was interesting. He knows that I'm friends with guys in the One Great Work Network, and all of us are our own men, right? So I'm very interested in having that conversation as a friend to the movement who got to talk to Mark once a very, very long time ago in the Revolution Radio days. I think it was like 2014 or 15. I interviewed Mark once. Right, and I have my own personal feelings that I like to talk about in a different manner. Perhaps, perhaps it's just the cross I bear in the Libra aspects of my nature, which is trying to give you the love of my impartial fucking whatever, saying, here's what I know from my very limited knowing, right? I mean, I go into this... I'm not going to go into this with any, ability to make certain claims, because, part of the reason why I don't feel like I should be a part of One Great Work, because I don't feel like I can put the time in to listening to all of the work, so that way I can be kind of like really knowing that up to speed conversation, right? Which then also makes me feel a certain way as an empath about it. So I'm always grateful for the friendship, and my biggest thing is that Mark's vision, I want to see it happen. I don't think I'm going to see it happen this lifetime. I'm going to have to reincarnate. See, that's my thing. It's just like, I'm going to die one day. There's still going to be slavery. It's like, I'm not letting people down. Put me the fuck back in, right? That's my attitude. You know, it's just that, you know, I think it's really fucking upsetting when you see so many people failing, avoiding, betraying, falling off around you when everything was there and nobody wanted to fucking whatever, right? Everybody can fucking disappear. This is, like, people talk about cult networks and shit. It's like, dude, it's fucking internet networks. If it's non-localized, there's no fucking control structure unless that person's a fucking Fed or something. Or part of another cult that is pretending that it's doing something else. And they got fucking agents from some mysterious amount of hyper money that can get a fucking round. That's not the fucking world, right? So nobody's, you know, none of these people are capable of culting up. James True can't start a cult. Owen Benjamin can't start a cult. I can't. Sethkus can't. Mark Passio can't. David Icke can't. Well, David Icke might be able to. You know, because David Icke's a whole other animal. The man was selling out fucking arenas on his particular flavor. And that's another fucking point, right? Look how big David Icke was before shit hit the fan. And now look how little the size of his fucking movement mattered. Right? With the wave of fucking, you know, COVIDians. How many fucking people bought David Icke tickets several times in their fucking lives? You know, well invested in it, but then also fucking fell into the whole goddamn Maya of the first veil on that level. We are afraid of all existentiality amongst those who don't know ourselves. We are in the heaviest level of fucking psychic suffering in this unspoken way, which is why this prior civilization, you know, that was being built and run by certain boomers and certain Gen Xers, to just be fucking nihilistically pleasure horrible. You know, with an increasing lack of true care, with every fucking whim bypassed to some fucking authority. Oh, you're sick. I'm not gonna help you at all. Go to your fucking doctor. Thanks, Mom. Can't even fucking cook me a goddamn bowl of fucking soup! Not my mom. My mom always cooked me a bowl of soup. I'm talking about what I just see with a lot of the prior generation of horrible peoples that was fucking running the body politic. We're making improvements, but because most of us are not going to see the full blossom of the biggest vision that we are upholding in the biospherical regenesis process. Too dark for glasses now. I see everybody in the chat there. I see some wrenches. Hi, everybody. Right? So, because the thing that sucks about it is it's not just healing, because people are fucking addicted to healing, especially, not even especially in the New Age movement. The New Age movement is just addicted to the process of using, you know, woo-woo to heal. And then a lot of other people are just fucking addicted to medicine to heal. Some people are addicted to God to heal. Right? Everybody is, you know, healing in all these different ways, and we're all breaking each other because we've taken out all room in the zeitgeist of our spiritual psyche in modern times for strength, for personality, for self-worth, right? We sacrificed too much of the age of Aries when Rome fell. We got rid of too many good qualities to bring in the Christian ethos. Because I am not inspired one iota by Christian heroism in medieval fucking mythos. Right? The Arthurian legend gets a pass because it's kind of a hybrid. And the core structure of those fucking stories is can still be easily translated into a more of a higher forms of pagan folklore and adventure, whatever way you want to correspond it. But anyway, my point is that it's like, it's how, it's the difference between how you personally feel about the world around you in all of its terrible evils and frustration of those that don't understand the personal responsibility it takes to shift out of everything that is a problem about it, and it'll continue to weaken as that shifts in with everybody. But this is fucking slow, because unfortunately, whether people are addicted to healing or not, they're still broken enough to need to heal. And people got to stop having the mind and will to get broken and to be broken in the fucking first place. You can't heal a person whose mind wants to be broken and wants to lie to themselves that they have to see themselves fixed before they can think themselves fixed. When I took my before and after fucking picture, which is taking me years to get to the after shot that's gonna fucking do justice to the picture of Thor I chose. A shirtless Thor. Excuse me. And now that the hanging skin on the belly's, I'm like, ooh, I might be getting. That's not bad. It's all right. I'm still like, but it's not as it was, right? Me possibly looking like Thor before my telomeres fucking break down is possible in my fucking lifetime more than everybody wanting to not be a slave by the standards by which we call things slavery today. And I think unfortunately the problem is because we don't realize it's just like, I don't think we realize that the exploitation of certain people's. Hey, sorry about that. That was weird. Hey, sorry about that. That was weird. I don't know why, that happened. That never happens right here. But anyway, excuse me. Anyway, I've gone into the conversations about my feelings about thralls, jarls, and carls. And I think that slavery is just an overlay on the thrall, and that the thrall isn't. Slave is not really right for thralls, although. Actually, no, I don't think it's right for thralls at all. Because if we can objectively call somebody like a president of a company as a slave, then certainly it's possible that he could be a thrall. Right? Because at that point it has nothing to do with wealth and access to higher level courts or something for justice, or whatever the fuck we're looking at their situation as the prima facie evidence of what they are. Something is just fucking there's just something fucking wrong we have to evolve this, right? If we don't evolve this, I'm just telling you, you're going to detract more people, right? Because you don't have an in between to get there. The people need an in between. They haven't learned to think as far ahead as those of us that agree that this kind of way can work and we should all work towards it. If there's only 10% of a population target that you want to be in cooperation, whether that be by a nation or by a world, you're going to have to just deal with defending your own pocket of life that you wish to achieve. Right? And the biggest problem with all of this stuff is that, you know, it feels like you're taking away your revolutionary edge, right? It doesn't feel like a revolution at that point. You know, it just feels like farming. You know, it just feels like farming, right? It just feels like let's all go and start a farm so we all got our own water and grain feed or whatever, and maybe we'll even figure out our own electricity. And look at that. Now we have our own little not government thing where we all live and have all our stuff. And that's a small scale thing that's doable. That's what fucking Bertaria is trying to do. Bertaria has been apparently shrinking for a couple of years now. I mean, I just listened to the stream at this point. I can't relate to the Bears. It's like the New Agers, it's really not my vibe. There's a handful of people that I think I get along with fucking great, but the Bears as a whole, it's not where I'm at. It's not where I'm at. Maybe I just love things that look too evil. You know, being the metalhead guy and all that shit, right? It's just that, you know, I'm grateful to everybody in the network because you guys do a phenomenal job, and you make the vision that was inspired by Mark to find the universal truths for yourself, to know what's up, and to try to do this thing without fucking telling people what to do at all. Right? Through all of this subtlety, and you guys do an amazing job. And so I thank you for doing that. I thank you for doing that because I want to see people like Mark succeed. I want to see James succeed. I want to see Sethicus succeed. You know, it's just interesting. I've been in this game for a fucking long ass time now, and finding out my next step in my next position as the master of my own chessboard. It's interesting as time changes and you make changes, but ultimately, are you making changes that can serve you and your ideals, right? Because sometimes we have to do things on a baseline for ourselves that have nothing to do with furthering the greater good or whatever we talk about, right? And the war continues, but motherfucker, we need to also acknowledge certain victories. There's a spirit there's a new zeitgeist that's here that is, it's interesting, it's different, and like I said, shit could turn sour. I mean, things felt great for 3 years, and then 2020 fuck happened, right? This is a wiser man who did not vote, gives no endorsement, but is just trying to look at the veil. As one of the things that I do is look at the veil and get the hints of what's going on upstream and downstream from what I can intuit. Get my leads to poke in, assess things that come to me from dreams and meditations, so on and so forth, right? We have 8 realms to inform our lives here in the 9th. Zerlath Bear, right? Of course. Well, one guy said I should call myself Rune Bear, which I thought was pretty cool. But, it's just, I don't want to, it's the same empathic kind of feel with Owen Benjamin as it is with Mark, because of how strong their convictions are and how much, I may say it wrong and then get kicked out of a place because failure of communication, right? Or something like that. Just become the not liked, being like, I don't know. It's irritating enough. It's irritating enough. Like, I have a different decorum amongst those of us in the game versus how I walk among the normies, right? And, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. I think it probably makes more sense to the normies, right? But they have no idea what I am not saying when I try to say it, right? And, I'm trying to articulate feelings about the situation here, right? And so I'm stretching into my capacity where my moon is, which is, sitting right in galactic center, and all sorts of tuned into all the weird frequencies, and thoughts beyond words is the long and short of what this moon does to my mind. So that's part of the pain of it all. How my Libra's aspected and how my moon is aspected. They put me in a certain place where it's just like, you know what? I've learned a decent amount of lessons, and I really like running my fucking mouth. So I'm just going to stand over here and run my mouth. And I'll wake up tomorrow and find out who's kicked me out of the networks. Right? That's kind of my fucking attitude. Otherwise, I'm living under so much stress of other people's fucking approval. And I love this ability to talk about what's on my mind as such, right? And I don't want to be a part of anything that's going to make me feel alienated or isolated in the least, right? And so I'd much rather be supportive of all sorts of things from the outside with no real fucking connections, because you know what, motherfuckers? I love my guitar, and I'd much rather be putting the effort into the music, because there's so much magic that I want to put into music. And maybe that will help the cause. But goddammit, I just want to fucking rock. I'll catch you later. Actually, wait, no. Hold on. Let me acknowledge the chat real before I go. Okay, let me scroll back a little bit. Say hi to Nicholas. Carolina told me to keep shredding. Thank you. Daniel L. Solo is okay. Look at Adele. Adele? Adele doesn't play the guitar. um, it's Broski Blonde. Hi, how's it going, Noah Gaming? Timony, how you doing? Steven the Jupiterian, good to see you, man. You'd make me souped. Thanks, Steve. Suzy Q, hey, babe. Yes, I let Nicholas. You just you hadn't noticed that I hadn't been on the spiders for over a year, or about a year. It's been about a year, I think. Nicholas, Telonius, what's up, Telonius? Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you guys later.